Let me start with this question. Foles on the open market, Flacco on the open market, who do you take?
Foles, not even close.
Oh, come on,
Not
man.
even close. I don't want Flacco. I wouldn't take Flacco.
No way. Go ahead, answer the question.
To answer your question, Foles. But listen, Foles. I'm taking Foles on the open market.
Wait, hold up. I got to ask something real quick. We're not going to go on a tangent. Do you think Flacco should have played yesterday?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
All right, we'll stay focused.
Listen, the team does play better with Nick Foles. There's no question about that. I think part of it is when you talk about Carson Wentz, people have talked about how he has a little Brett Favre in him and his ability to improvise and how he uses his legs. And sometimes that's a detriment to how you play the game at the quarterback position. Nick Foles, there's some type of synergy between him and Doug Peterson, how they run the offense, how he utilizes all the pieces within that offense. It seemed like Alshon Jeffrey comes alive when Nick Foles is a quarterback. The tight ends seem like they come alive even more.
Why can't they come alive? Why can't they come alive with Carson Wentz?
Listen, I'm not here to say that to disparage Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz was, if he hadn't gotten hurt, 2 years ago,
he was Wentzylvania. He was like the next big thing.
He was going to be MVP. He was going to be MVP of the league. Mm-hmm. But I think that when Nick Foles is in there, he runs the offense, to me, the way that Doug Peterson designed the offense to be. And it's just clear when you watch the football. We
just said that before he got hurt, he was going to be the league's MVP. So how do we go from about to bring in the MVP trophy to now there's a quarterback controversy? There's no chance. Now, what I will say is this. When you have Chris Long put a shrine up in his locker with Nick Foles, right, and the team rallies around him, and you have people in the organization or on the team that feels more comfortable with Foles, you can't turn back now, right? Because let's look at the game last night. He didn't look great. He may have threw 4 spirals the entire game, but he came with it when he needed to, okay? So right now in this moment, you cannot turn back to Wentz. But next year, man, Foles is gone. He's going to go off and play on another team.
Well, I'm not.
And Wentz will be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I never made the case that they should keep Carson Wentz over Nick Foles. But I'm saying, as of right now, they look like a totally different team with Nick Foles in there as opposed to Carson.
No, this is why they look like a totally different team. It has nothing to do with the offensive side of the ball. It's Jim Schwartz, one of the best guys at what he does. This guy is a defensive genius. That's why this team looks different. When I was with the New Orleans Saints, my short tenure there, it was
it's a nice stint while it lasted.
Like a cup of tea.
Like a 5-year.
We played against the Eagles.
Yeah.
And when I say that team was atrocious, I mean atrocious. They were down to practice squad DBs. Mm-hmm. And when I say Coach Payton and Drew and Mike Thomas did whatever they wanted, they did whatever they wanted. That team looked like a high school JV team. Okay. And it's a totally different team today. First
of all, it's good to see you, bro. And I love the fact that you watched the show, because obviously he was listening to me. I don't even understand this question. I am not going to lie to you. There's no quarterback controversy here. If Carson Wentz were healthy, we wouldn't even be having this discussion, okay? Let's keep this in mind. Let's hold on. I let everybody speak. I just said words.
Go ahead.
If he's healthy,
Go ahead.
Number one. Nick Foles goes on this playoff run last year. Number one, you're playing with house money. Carson Wentz go down and expectations were minimal. Obviously, you were back up the last time we saw you. You were quarterback of a Jeff Fisher. We know he contaminates everybody. So that's the bottom line, okay? So what happens? It's the truth, damn it. It's the truth. So what happens? You go on a run. All of those games were home games until the Super Bowl.
I don't care. What difference does that make? Pressure down the stretch.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Go ahead.
You're one of the people that talk.
Okay, come on.
Going on the road.
Okay, come on.
I got tape on you now.
Okay, go ahead.
That's number one. Number two, like you said, he wasn't that great yesterday. He handled his business when he had to. He deserved credit. We get all of that. Carson Wentz completed 69% of his passes this year. Yeah, they were 5 and 6 at the time.
He was actually playing better this year than he was last year.
We also highlight how Doug Peterson coaches a little bit differently. So I appreciate the point that you brought up, Damien, when you highlighted the combination of Doug Peterson with Nick Foles, because how come we're not asking about what Doug Peterson is doing with Carson Wentz? Why are we just looking at Carson Wentz in an isolated bubble, but when it comes to Nick Foles, we're talking about the combination of him with Doug Peterson? Maybe Doug Peterson shouldn't be asking Carson Wentz to do all that he does. Maybe Doug Peterson should sit up there and say, you know what? We're going to simplify things a little bit like we do for Nick Foles.
So wait a minute. Are you saying? So you sitting here and saying that Doug Peterson got Carson Wentz out here doing, read option, all those type of things?
No.
He's not doing all of that. I'm pretty sure the playbook is the playbook right now.
Oh no!
Wait a minute. No. What we see from Carson. No, what we hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, wait a minute. Hold on. No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Let him finish.
No, what we see from Carson Wentz, if there's one thing that we all can agree on, is that we see a lot more improvising from Carson Wentz, and that's, to me, the biggest difference. And when you watch the Philadelphia Eagles, when you watch Nick Foles, Nick Foles, you see him playing within the confines of the offense, and when you watch Carson Wentz, you see a lot more
Kellerman.
improvising.
I have an answer. I'd like to close it out like
I just want you to know that as shocking as it may be, I actually have time from time to time to actually watch NFL Live. So I see these guys talking. You know what I'm saying? And I recall, Max, watching them, and they say, well, you know what, you and Teddy and everybody else. You know what they were saying? Well, you know what, Doug Peterson complicates the playbook just a little bit there because you're asking Carson Wentz to do far more than you're asking. That's what's making.
I'd like to close it out like this, going right at you, Brandon Marshall. You asked, how do you go from about to win the league MVP to quarterback controversy? Because I'm not saying they're going to choose Foles over Wentz. I'm saying there's legit controversy right now. Go into the comment section of any, any, right? Okay. How do you do that? How do you go from about to win the MVP to quarterback controversy when the other dude is 25-12, lifetime for your franchise, just won the Super Bowl against Tom Brady,